welcome. You're watching Money9, India's first multilingual platform for personal finance from TV9 News Network. I'm Sakshi Batra, and on this show, we're going to be discussing all about market fundamentals, which is the direction in which the markets are headed. What should you do with your investments in the markets? Is it time to rejig your portfolios? And the stocks that you should definitely keep on your radar. All of this will be discussed with a very special guest who will join us just in a bit. But before that, let me request all our viewers to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that bell icon so that you can get notified when we add a new video. Also, stay connected with us through all our social media platforms. That's Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, where we put out regular updates on markets and on personal finance for you to make use of. Also, visit our website, money9.com, for the latest news articles as well. Let me now welcome our guest for the day. Kranthi Bathini joins in from Wealthmills Securities on Market Meter. Good afternoon, and thank you very much for joining in, Mr. Bathini. Hope you're keeping safe right now. And I want to begin by understanding, the way the markets have been progressing in the last few trading sessions is confusing a lot of investors with the kind of volatile trades that have taken place. So there is a kind of fear steeping in that the markets have perhaps topped out. What is your view right now?
So actually, one thing, if we observe the market, especially this week, at the top of the market, traders and investors tend to book some profit on the top. And what we are witnessing is, if the market is coming down at the lower levels, there is some amount of buying interest that's taking place. But our observation at this point of time is the funds and the retail investors, most of them, they are not keen to go on long positions. Right now, there is a range bound trade is happening in the market. At higher levels, every trader is taking profits from the table. And also, if we see the fund activity from past 10 days, there is some kind of slowdown in terms of the fund activity is concerned. FIIs and DIs are a little bit, they're not that much active in the market at present. That's what the situation in the market. But any dip in the market, it gives a very good opportunity for investors to accumulate stocks at a much attractive levels.
Absolutely. So today we are seeing, some of the sectors that are definitely pushing the rally up. Instead, in fact, these sectors have also been participating in the rally in the last whole week as well. And I'm talking about the IT sector. First of all, there's an up move of almost 2% right here. How are you looking at this space? Are they coming back, after having underperformed for a slight bit? There was a whole lot of attention, all these metals, financials, and other pockets right now. But the IT stocks were not really participating. Now they have actually come up right again after those earnings have faded. Now earnings season has now come to an end. Again, they are coming back into action. How are you looking at this space, especially because tomorrow we also have another major event? Infosys is coming out with a buyback.
Sakshi, if we observe IT, IT considered to be a defensive sector, and also it is a safe sector to be at present moment during pandemic season is concerned. But if once we see the US growth is coming back, the companies going to expand their budgetary expenditure, and they are going to increase their expansion plans in US. Once the US and Europe is back with the expansion season, one of the sector that's bound to take advantage is IT. And also, icing on the cake for IT, as rupee is depreciating as a 100% export sector, the key beneficiary is IT. So that's the reason some kind of buying interest is taking place with respect to IT is concerned, especially in mid-cap IT, since they have not participated in the earlier rally. What we are witnessing is some kind of heightened activity with respect to the mid-cap IT is concerned. We definitely educate investors to be in IT space, in large and mid-cap space. If they have high risk appetite, they can identify a couple of stocks which are in the small cap IT segment also.
Sure. Absolutely. Let me just ask you one about, the stock that is in focus today, and that is Reliance Industries. Right ahead of its annual general meeting, the stock actually gains a lot of attention from the investors and market analysts as well. And generally, we have seen that, the AGM attracts a lot of attraction because of the kind of announcements that are always expected. This time around too, we are expecting, the sub 5,000 rupee kind of like a smartphone that will be a game changer for the industry may be announced. There's also an expectation of a very low cost laptop being announced. So all of these consumer centric and consumer focused announcements are being eyed right now. Amid all of this, how should investors really view this stock, and what should be their investment strategy?
Sakshi, we are always positive on the prospects of Reliance Industries is concerned.
Okay.
And a couple of months back on your show also, we educated Reliance Industries to be a buy call with respect to the large cap stock when the stock was trading around 1900 rupees.
Sure.
What we, of course, Reliance AGM is always a big day for the investors. All the eyes are keen watching about what comes out of the lips of Mr. Mukesh Ambani. But of course, today everybody have anticipations and expectations from Reliance AGM. A couple of years back, as he announced, Reliance is going to be debt free. That's a big AGM event, and the stock turned very positive, and the market cap touched 10 lakh crores that day. Today, Reliance is around 13 lakh crores market cap, one of the highest, largest market cap company with the market capitalization in India is concerned. But we need to keenly watch what kind of announcements that are going to come, as Reliance have made significant investments with respect to the technology is concerned. Of course, as you told, we need to wait and watch the kind of announcements that comes from Reliance Industries. But we are quite optimistic and positive with respect to the prospects of Reliance Industries is concerned in longer term. But one thing we need to keep in mind is, apart from these new product launches of Reliance Industries, a couple of days back there was a significant announcement that came from Reliance Industries that they are going to be a zero carbon company by 2030. It's a big announcement. We need to see what kind of insights Mr. Ambani is going to share with respect to
Sure.
zero carbon is concerned. It's a big event, and also one of the key other thing we need to look for this AGM is there anyone from Aramco going to join on the board of Reliance Industries? That is a key event. We need to wait and watch, and we need to get some clarity with respect to the Aramco investments with respect to Reliance is concerned. So these are the key points we are looking forward from the AGM, apart from the new product
Absolutely.
launches that you shared.
Absolutely, whole lot of interest in the kind of announcements that will be made, and it will be made at 2 p.m. And all our viewers who are watching us right now, you must stay tuned on to money9.com, because we'll be coming out with regular updates as to what comes out of the AGM, and we'll keep you posted with whatever is the breaking news out of that. So stay tuned with us in case you are interested in knowing what the AGM is all about today. Mr. Bathini, you did talk about that how Reliance Industries was also recommended by you on this show. Let me also reiterate some of the stocks that have been extreme star picks of yours, which have been recommended before by you. Let's start off with Quick Heal Technologies. This was a star pick that you had, announced, you had recommended on our show. And it has, seen a rise of almost 66%, which is in a very short span of time. What would your suggestions be for investors today who had listened to you invested in the stock?
Sakshi, Quick Heal Technologies, as we have been advocating the investors to buy at every dip, the stock has given a tremendous return of 72% in the past of 4 or 5 months. So we advocate, of course, the prospects, and the business is quite optimistic with respect to the company. Having said that, the stock has run away nearly 70% in past 4 months. We advocate investors to take some profit from the table and stay invested in the stock. And any dip in the stock is an opportunity to investors to accumulate in their portfolio. But at current market conditions are concerned, it's better to take some profit from the table with respect to Quick Heal Technologies is concerned, and stay invested in the stock and use every opportunity to buy in the stock at every dip.
All right, you can actually book partial profits if you've been making stupendous profits here. Then it is more prudent to take some money off the table and remain invested with the rest of the funds right here. The other pick that you had shared with us as your star pick, which has emerged, is the KPIT Technologies stock as well. And this stock also has given a return of almost 33% from the time that you had recommended. What would your call be right now on this stock today?
Sakshi, as you mentioned about the IT has been buzzing from past few days. As
Yeah.
on your show, a couple of months back in the month of April, as there was no buzz on IT, we educated on your show to for the investors to buy KPIT Technologies at the price of 193. Now, within a span of 3 months, the stock has delivered 33% return. So we educate investors to hold on to this stock, and any decline if the market gives, stay invested in this stock and buy this stock for a longer term, as IT is the buzzing, and as it's a defensive sector, and it's as US growth prospects looks very positive, and also the stock is related to auto sector, as we can see the green shoots in auto sector, and as the revival is taking place in auto sector, KPIT is the stock which is going to get benefited in the next coming couple of quarters. So our message to the investors is stay invested in the stock.
Okay, stay invested in KPIT Technologies. There's further upside that you can definitely, cherish if you're holding this stock on recommendation of Mr. Bathini on this show. So congratulations yet again, sir, for sharing these star picks with all our viewers, and I'm sure they would have made humongous profits right here after listening to you. Let me now ask you, sir, what would be your investment pick today, as of today, for a long term? If somebody has to take a pick, which stock would you recommend?
Sakshi, today we have a different pick, which is a small cap stock with a market capitalization around 1,000 crores. This
Okay.
stock is suitable to the high risk appetite investors.
Right.
If you have a high risk appetite, this stock is much suitable to you. It can be a good money spinner in the days to come. We have a company by name Centrum Capital. The company is a financial services company with different subsidiaries firing in terms of their wealth management, stockbroking, and housing finance sector, and they have microfinance sector. But the stock is in news in last few days. The stock, the company is emerging on the verge of becoming a bank. RBI have approved BharatPay and Centrum Capital to amalgamate with PMC Bank, which is going to be a very positive story for this stock, and their financials will improve in the days to come. And also, it helps for Centrum Capital to reach out more customers, and PMC at the right time, it will help increase the base of Centrum Capital. So Centrum Capital is in best position to become a bank in next few quarters, and also it's led by one of the stalwart veteran banker in India, Mr. Jaspal Vindra, who was the ex head of Asia Pacific region for Standard Chartered Bank. So currently he's the executive chairman of Centrum Capital. So the stock with the leadership of Mr. Jaspal Bindra, the stock have very good prospects. Investors who have high risk appetite can definitely consider entering into Centrum at every dip and accumulate the stock for a longer term prospects. Investors have a long term horizon. They can hold this stock as a investment pick who have the high risk appetite, but the stock can deliver 25%. Stock have 25% upside in next 1 year horizon. But investors have high risk appetite. Definitely, they can consider investing in Centrum.
Okay, investors with high risk appetite, Centrum is the pick for you for as a long-term investment pick. This stock has huge fundamentals working for it, and the external factors that will definitely help the upside in the current levels, from the current levels of about 46 rupees. Thank you very much, Mr. Bathini, for speaking to us. It's always a pleasure speaking to you, and when you share your insights on markets and these stock recommendations, they definitely benefit our viewers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sakshi. Pleasure is mine.
Okay, and then let's move on to see how the markets are trading at this point in time. We are almost over half time in trade. Looks what has got into the red is actually the broader market space. The mid cap and the small caps have actually declined now. 0.3% of a downside for the BSE mid cap index. The small cap is also down now by marginally by 0.1% or so. But what's riding higher is the benchmarks and the Nifty Bank too. 0.5% uptick for the Nifty 50. It's up at 15,769. The Sensex is also inching higher with 328 points of an addition right now, and 52,634 is the current level for the BSE Sensex. Nifty Bank is also inching higher with 150 odd points of a gain, 0.4% uptick right now being seen on the index. 34,721 is the level at which the Nifty Bank is trading at. Let's look at the sectoral picture to see where the gains are actually coming in for the benchmark indices right now. Look at the IT index, it's riding high, 2% uptick right now. Metals are also inching higher with over 1% uptick right now, whereas the other gaining sectors like say the private banks or financial services, autos, FMCG, they're just mildly up in trade, just kind of supporting the markets and the other sectoral indices. What's not contributing today is actually the pharma index. It's down 0.4%, 0.5% decline for the realty space too. But from the banking pack, it's the PSU banks that have now declined 0.8%. They're not participating in the overall Nifty bank index right now. So, which is why we are actually seeing whatever gains you are seeing, it's just partial. In case the PSU banks had also participated, the gains would have been much higher for the Nifty bank too. For the Nifty gainers and losers also, if you will see, of course, the IT space will be leading. TCS, Infosys, HCL Tech now finding its place in the top Nifty 50 gainers. From the metals, it's JSW Steel and infrastructure major L&T also at 1.5% uptick right now. But over 3% gains for TCS, Infosys. That's where all the action is right now. And Infosys is coming out with a buyback tomorrow, and that's the space that you need to watch out for. As far as the laggards are concerned, let's look there too. Reliance Industries is trading subdued right ahead of its AGM. 2 p.m. is when the announcements will begin. And right now, 1.2% of a decline is what you can see here. IOC, NTPC, Power Grid, the power stocks are not doing too well today. From the pharma packet, Cipla, that's not contributing, and oil and gas major IOC is also down over 1% in trade. But overall, the markets are still holding uptight, holding strong. It's the expiry date. We'll also have to wait. Reliance Industries AGM announcement will also play a big part as to which way Reliance Industries stock moves, and with that, the overall index will also have will actually move. So those are the things that you need to watch out for in the last 1 hour of trade, right after 2 o'clock, when we start seeing the announcements open up. In case there are positive announcements and big bang, more than the street had expected, you can definitely expect the Reliance Industries stock to go higher. But if they are not, then definitely there could be some pressure as well. We'll keep you posted on all of these announcements and whichever way the markets really move in today's trading session. So like and subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon so that you can get notified when we talk about Reliance Industries, the other market stories that we put out, the videos that we put out on personal finance as well. Stay connected with us through our social media platform and visit our website, money9.com. Thanks for tuning in.